Hi, you are watching the Times News. Today we will discuss about Israeli protest situation. Mass protest and widespread strike are taking place across Israel over controversial judicial reforms. Departure flights from Israel's main airport have been suspended and there have been widespread walkouts in many industries. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu put off a national TV address which was expected on Monday morning. There is speculation he will pass plans to change the legal system, but a far-right coalition partner has said he should not surrender to anarchy. The changes to the justice system have provoked an outpouring of anger from nearly all parts of Israeli society, including its powerful military. The government, Israel's most right-wing ever, wants to take full control over the committee which appoints judges. Netanyahu says the changes will stop courts overreaching their powers, but critics say they will help him as he faces an ongoing trial for corruption. In a post on Twitter, he called on protesters on all sides to behave responsibly and refrain from violence. Anti-government protests have swept the streets of Israel, and inside the Knesset, Israel's parliament, opposition politicians have expressed their fury towards the government's judicial reforms plans. Simcha Rothman, chairman of the Israeli parliament's law committee, was attacked by parliamentarians this morning, who described the reform as a radical takeover of the state of Israel. Rothman is a key architect of the Netanyahu government's controversial legal reforms aimed at overhauling the country's judicial system. Shame, shame, was cried out, and accusations were made comparing it to militant Islamist groups. This is a hostile takeover of the state of Israel. No need for Hamas, no need for Hezbollah, one lawmaker was heard saying. Rothman said in response the law is balanced and good for Israel. Crowds of protest flooded the streets of Israel on Sunday after Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu fired his defense minister, who had spoken out against plans to overhaul the justice system. For weeks, huge protests have erupted over the government's reforms plan. Opponents say the reforms will severely undermine the country's democracy. In a message shared on Twitter, Netanyahu appealed to protesters to behave responsibly and refrain from violence. Netanyahu had been due to make an announcement about his plan this morning, but this has been delayed. Suspicion has been mounting that Netanyahu may halt his plans in a bid to calm the protest. Departures from Tel Aviv Ben Gurion Airport were suspended as part of trade union Histadrut's protest against the reforms. The country's two main seaports have stopped work, and fast food chain McDonald's began closing its Israel branches. Israel's embassies around the world have been told by a workers' union to join the strike action. Israeli Economy Minister Nir Barkat called for the government to unite behind Netanyahu's expected decision to pass the legislation. Justice Minister Yariv Levin said he would respect any decision the Prime Minister makes. The White House released a statement expressing deep concern, urging Israeli leaders to find a compromise as soon as possible. If you like my news, so please subscribe to my channel. See you in the next video. Goodbye.